I am Life Coach Latricia Booker with Kingdom Business, where we are empowered, where we heal, we get delivered, and we get free. We know who we are. We elevate our minds and our spirits and raise and expand our consciousness to ultimately walk in our true divine purpose. That is the truth of who God created us to be. And so in today's video, I want to talk to you all about, are you in fear or are you in faith? And right now, I'm specifically speaking of what's going on right now around the world with the coronavirus. I didn't really even want to speak about it because I have the tendency to not tune into these kind of things. But as we already know, it's all over everywhere. You can't avoid it. I don't tune into it, but it's in my face. And I guess in some ways I need to be aware of what's going on. Yet I don't like to hold these things into my awareness too much, because whatever you hold so close to your awareness, you bring into your reality. Yet I need to be aware of what's going on. And so, again, I tune these kind of things out. I know it's happening. I know it's going on. Yet I don't tune into them because I don't consider it to be a part of my personal world. And so, I've come across different people that mention it. I personally don't bring it up and talk about it, but sometimes it's brought to me. For instance, the other day, I was at the dentist office, and the assistant that was helping me, um, you know, she asked the question. She asked me, what did I think about this coronavirus? And I said, I'm not. I said, I'm not thinking about it. I said, I'm over it. And she went on to share some things and, had her opinions about it and everything. And my position was, and I kind of left it here, I could have said a whole lot about it, but I choose not to. So my position was this, it's pretty much the same things. Take the proper safety precautions as if you have a cold or flu or whatever, with the exception of, if you're sick, quarantine yourself. Same safety precautions. Make sure you're washing your hands thoroughly, 20 seconds minimum, and sanitizing quite often. Understandable. It's pretty much the same thing that we do anyway, with the exception again of, if you're sick, stay home. But that's actually common too. Okay. I'm saying all that to say we just need to continue to take the same safety precautions. So what are we doing different than what we were doing before? Okay, well, this is something that they are saying is very serious. I've heard all kind of opinions about this, or people feeling like it's something that's man-made, possibly. It's being brought to my attention by someone that is being observed that every time it's a campaign, there's a virus. Every time there's a presidential campaign, a virus breaks out. Something that I hadn't put two and two together, but yeah, I could see that. So there are all of these, what you would call conspiracy theories, and some may be absolutely relevant, and there may be some truth to them. And so the thing is, for me, regardless of what it is, where it comes from, first and foremost, we have to be careful that we are not being distracted, or we have to be careful of distractions. Because again, even if it's a thing where it has to do with politics and what's going on in politics, the presidential campaign, that means that it's designed to distract us from something else that's happening that they don't want us to pay attention to. So let's distract you with this virus. Either way, whatever is going on, and it could be a combination of many things, because nothing surprises me in this world, because so many people have so many agendas, and all they want to do is win and get their way and want to distract the world, the collective humanity, from what it is they're really doing. And it's even deeper on a spiritual level, let alone politically speaking. But it's nothing new. It's something that's been going on forever. And so what I'm getting to is, regardless of what is going on, are you in fear or are you in faith? Because if you are in fear, that means that you're allowing what's happening in this world and with this virus to cause you to be in fear that you may become impacted by this. Now, first, I'm not negating anyone that has been affected by this. My heart goes out to anyone who has had a loved one or are personally dealing with this virus. My heart goes out to them. Now, what I'm saying is this: if you are in fear, you're fearing that you're going to get this thing, which means that you probably will, because you're in fear. But really, where I want to go with this is, where's your faith? Where's your faith? Now, for those of us who say we have faith in God, and we do have faith in God, that's what we're supposed to be doing during this time and any time. Now, I'm not saying don't take the proper health precautions. Don't do what it is you need to do to be careful and to care for yourself, and to make sure that you're safe and you're healthy. Yes, use wisdom by all means. Yet use wisdom, do what you need to do, but stay in faith, not fear. What I also discovered is that those who are in fear are really exposing who they really are, or what they're really trusting. Because if you trust God and you have faith in God and you walk with God, you have no reason to fear. So if you are in fear, who are you really? Who is really your God? Are you really who you say you are? Or are you really who you portray yourself to be? I mean, maybe it's a question you need to ask yourself if you're in fear. Because you should not be in fear if you know that God is your protector. If you walk with God so closely, or attempting to, because no matter how close we walk with God, we always trying to walk closer. I know I'm going that right now. I'm going deeper and deeper. I'm always going deeper. I'll never stop. And so, if you walk with God, you know He's your God. You trust Him. You know He'll take care of you. You have no reason to fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and of sound mind. Therefore, if you are in fear, you're not in faith. And again, if you're in fear, you're exposing yourself and maybe others around you, if they're paying attention and they are in faith. You're exposing yourself to the fact that you're not in faith and that you're not trusting God. Because either you really trust God or you don't. Because if you really trust God and you're really in faith, you wouldn't even go on the side of fear in this thing. You will automatically, right away, it ain't even no wavering, because you trust God. When you trust God like that, anything that pops up causes you to just automatically go straight to, I trust God. It's not nothing to think about. It's not nothing to work your way to, unless there is. And again, if that's the case, and you choose God and you choose faith and you find yourself in fear, you got some work to do. Because fear and faith are opposites. Either you trust God or you don't. Now, there's nothing to fear here. There's nothing to fear here. Unless there is. And what I mean by that is, it has come to my attention that some people are in fear because they know they are dabbling in ungodly things or being ungodly. And when I say ungodly, I don't mean that, your imperfections and your mistakes and flaws, because we all have those. But if you're not intentionally, on purpose, for real, making a conscious effort, proactively pursuing God and His ways and walking in your purpose and letting Him lead and guide you all the way, you have a reason to fear, because that means, again, you are not really in God. You're not. So I'm saying that again. I'm going to say that again. Maybe you have a reason to fear. And if you have that reason to fear because you know you are not doing things God's way, you know that God is saying do this, do that, and other, you're not listening, you have good reason to fear. Yet, I encourage you to get on God's side and get in faith so you can eradicate that fear. Because I know it's nothing nice about being in fear. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. There's nothing good in it. It ain't of God. Not to say that even when you're in God, it don't come up, but it don't hang around. It don't hang around. It'll try to show itself. But people of God that are really in God, when fear shows up, we face it and re-eradicate it. Period. So anyway, I encourage you to stay in faith during this time and all times. And if you find yourself in fear, I encourage you to get over to faith. Get over to faith. Trust God. Maybe you need to do a little repenting. By all means, do so. Because things like this show you how, if you are in fear, things like this show you how fragile life really is and how you can be taken out. You never know what's going to happen. This thing came out of nowhere, or maybe it didn't. But the fact is, it's here. If you're that afraid, that means you can be taken out of here, which means you need God. That means you need God, because you never know. Life happens. But when you are in God, you are in his hands. And it doesn't matter what happens, what comes, what goes. He's got you in his hands. He's in control. He's in control of your life, so you don't have to be in fear. And so, again, I encourage you, if you are in fear, get over the faith. And if you are in faith, keep on faith in it. Keep on faith in it. And so, with that, I'm going to go. I hope this helped. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. Also, click on that bell next to that red subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time I upload a new video. You can also connect with me on Facebook and Instagram at Latricia Booker, and on Twitter at Kingdom Business 9. That is Kingdom Business with one S and the number 9. And so, you all, that is my time. So you know how I do it. I am out. Peace.